Greetings. This is the Ghetto Free Press, and this is The Voice with George Boston Rhines. And as you know, on September the 14th, there was a rally. The Valdosta Daily Times, of course, published their article concerning that rally. And once again, the picture, you cannot even see it. It's not front page coverage. And a lot of what took place at that meeting was totally excluded from the general public. It is as if though a tree fell in the forest, and by them not reporting the beef of that meeting, it is as if though they're telling us that the tree never fell in the forest and that the forest don't even exist. What did you hear about this? Did you read about this in your local newspaper and television? Since they refer to what I publish here on YouTube as crap, I want you to listen to this lady from Columbus, Ohio, Columbus, Georgia, and some others from Florida. But none of this was in the newspaper. It was like, or on television, it was like as if though that which affects minorities doesn't matter in Valdosta. Listen, please.
Fired up, ready to go.
This is DeAndre from VSU.
I don't know what else to do.
He's from Americus, Georgia.
How far can we go today? How far can President DeBose, Attorney King, and other speakers can go today to tell you how serious this thing is? People around the nation are watching you all.
Listen, the people around the nation are watching. And do you not know that I was told today by the Kendrick family that Jacksonville newspaper, this same rally was front page coverage in Jacksonville. Front page coverage in Jacksonville. But not in Valdosta, Georgia. Not at the Valdosta Daily Times, our only newspaper. It's on page 4A. It is as if though we don't care about our children here in Valdosta. Much like the 14-year-old, they didn't do a story on the 14-year-old girl. They haven't done a story on me yet. 23 days. This criminal trespass warning. Y'all had better wake up here in Valdosta. Sooner or later, it seemed as if though just like it took an outside newspaper to get this on front page, it took CNN to come in here and do a story concerning Kendrick's death. I mean, a real in-depth story. What's wrong with our newspapers? What's wrong with our television station? Oh, don't worry about it. Don't even think about it. Jesus said, and ye shall know the truth. And sooner or later, we gonna be exposed, y'all. It's just the way it is. God has ordained this to be. No lie can live forever. But let us continue. Listen to
community watching this family. And see if y'all gonna wake up and move. Y'all gonna move kids with Georgia State Conference, NAACP president, as well as he sits on the National Board of Directors for the NAACP National. So we're very proud to have him here today. Now moving forward, now we will have the president of Spirit House Project, Ms. Ruby Sells, and we'll also bring Reverend Dr. Smith back as well.
The president of Spirit House Project. Now, did you read about that in the newspaper? Did you see that on local TV stations here in South Georgia? I didn't create this, yet they call it crap. So listen to the crap. Somebody saw as crap, and they didn't want you to know. Listen, please.
Let's give them a hand. All right.
Hello, Valdosta.
Hello.
Today, we who believe in justice cannot rest until it comes. Until the killing of black men, black mothers' sons, is as important as the killing of white men, white mothers' sons.
Now, this is what they call crap. When it comes down to us loving our children, us reporting our news, and telling our story, they refer to it as crap. You get it? Yeah, they refer to it as crap. But this is what we all need to know. This is why we send our sons and daughters to fight on foreign battlefields, to protect the rights of foreigners, and freedom of speech, and freedom of the press. Y'all had better wake up. Let us listen to the president of Spirit Home Project. Listen, please.
We who believe in justice cannot rest until it comes. My name is Cheryl Blankenship, and I'm the co-director of the Spirit House Project with Ruby Sales, who has withered from this heat, so she's sitting back there. And we are from Columbus, Georgia. We represent a small nonprofit organization that's doing mighty work, God's work. And let me tell you briefly about the work and why we are happy to be here today with you. Unfortunately, what we have been tracking is that there are a number of black boys and girls being killed around this nation. And they are being called suspicious deaths.
Now, ask yourself a question. Why would this be called crap that I'm putting on YouTube? Wouldn't you want to know that your children, even though your pastors, your attorneys, your judges, your carpenters, your brick masons, if they don't care about what happened to their children, should we not at least talk about it? Talk about it?
And murders, not only here in Valdosta, and thank God Kendrick has gotten some attention, not enough. What we are trying to do is help the nation know that somebody is out there in all kinds of sheep's clothing, killing these children, saying that it's suicide, and we need to watch. And so if you know of any death of a black boy, a girl, man, or a child,
Now, why is it that the black preachers, these pastors in this community, first of all, the pastors should tell other pastors, the pastors should tell the other deacons, the deacons should tell the ushers should tell their mother, their father, their sister, their brothers that something is wrong and that they need to wake up and just stop confining themselves to the church inside of a building and do what Ms. Blankenship is doing. Isn't it strange that we are Metro City, retired principals, black and white, and retired people from Valdosta State University? They won't say what this young lady is saying. Let's get back to the subject here. Sorry about that.
Woman, please contact the Spirit House Project in Columbus, Georgia, and let us know, because we are tracking these. We were in Jonesboro, Arkansas with the young man Chavis Carter, who was shot. The police said he committed suicide, but his hands were handcuffed behind his back and feet shackles were on his legs. How could he shoot himself? We were in Lucedale, Mississippi, when another 17-year-old, 14 scholarships to go off to college. His family relying and hopeful of him and his future. He ostensibly shot himself in the head with a shotgun. Can you hear that? My goodness. Unfortunately, these things are happening. In Texas, a young man found dead, hanging in the yard of his girlfriend, committed suicide. Now, what black person is going to commit suicide by hanging themselves this age and this day? Let us be vigilant and awake and understand that we who believe in freedom can't rest until it comes, and that our ancestors and legacy are folks. We don't have to do it by trying to shoot other people. That's not us. We are nonviolent. We are not trying to perpetrate and act like they are acting, but we will not sit by idly and not be...
Oh, yes, we will too. If you doubt what I'm saying, all you have to do go to every rally here in Valdosta for Kendrick Johnson and most any other rally in recent history. Religious people, religious community, black and white, the question is, do they care? Do they care? Or are they just concerned about going to heaven, being quiet, raising money for whoever, and going back home until next week and coming back doing the same thing in church to get our Sunday morning therapy? Listen, please.
Aware and awake and call attention to this. Come with us to Washington, D.C., where we will be bringing the families, parents, and siblings, and all of you to say to Congress, look, this is unfair. Until the killing of black boys, black mother sons, is as important as the killing of white boys, we who believe in freedom will not rest until it comes. Now, we have with us Reverend Dr. Susan K. Smith, who came from Columbus, Ohio. This is how we are reaching. We are around the...
Now we're beginning to listen to another young lady, Miss Susan, and I guess all we can do is ask ourselves a question. In the black community, why is it that it's the black woman? It was the same way in Waycross, it was the female. Port St. Joe, white women. In Jacksonville, well, it was slightly different, but the bottom line is, Moultrie, the women. Wherever we go, it's always the black women. And the black clergymen, I mean, I don't want to down them because I know they're doing a great work. We just need to make sure that the people that we give our money to and provide income for, that they are actually fighting for us, our children, and coming generations. Let's continue.
Nation, understand this is a national crisis. You've got sons and brothers. You know someone who might be in jail, who died suspiciously. Don't just let this stuff pass over your shoulders and do nothing about it. Talk to us, all right? We are gathering these names. Anyway, Reverend Dr. Susan K. Smith is here from Columbus, Ohio, and she's going to share better words about it.
This is Dr. Susan K. Smith. What did you read about that in the Valdosta Daily Times, our only newspaper? What did you hear about this group, Spirit Homes Project, from your local television stations, your local radio stations? And so when I give it to you on YouTube, and when I put these on DVD, distribute them here in Valdosta, been doing it for 5 years, yet there are those who will call this information that our brain cells need in order for us to act intelligently and raise our children up by way of information. They call it crap. This is the crap I believe our children need to keep them out of the crap in the jails, the prisons, where many black and poor white people are dying in disproportionate numbers to those that have the money to defend themselves and get the best attorneys. Now let's listen to another female and ask, where are the men?
I give honor to God and thanks to God for being awake and alive. But it occurs to me that when we are honored and blessed enough to be alive, that we have to understand that we are alive because we have work to do. When President Barack Obama was elected, a whole bunch of people said that we had entered a post-racial society. And I don't know about y'all, but I laughed to myself because his election didn't mean any such thing. The fact of the matter is that our country has a horrid history of objectifying people of color. And when you objectify somebody of color, you don't care if you kill them because they're not a person to you. We are here to say that we count. Do we count? Our babies count.
No, we don't count. If this meeting took place in 2013, and if we sent our sons and daughters on foreign battlefield to fight these damn wars for foreigners, then we return home to Valdosta, Georgia, and see a 14-year-old black African-American girl handcuffed charged with a felony and can't get her story told in any South Georgia news media outlet, why are we joining the military? Why are we doing it? Now, that's an intelligent question. You don't know nothing about this. This could have been lost forever. When people pick up the Valdosta Daily Times, our only newspaper, our only one, they won't know nothing about this. But now, thanks to God, you know the rest of the story.
Our little boys count, our little daughters count, and we are not going to be objectified much longer. Somebody ought to be fed up. Our ancestors fought, and they didn't die for us to sit out and say we're post-racial. Our ancestors died so that we could get it, that we have a lot of work yet to do. Kendrick Johnson is just one of many young men who have been sacrificed, and too many of us have remained silent. How about we here to say we are not going to be silent anymore?
Well, that sounds good, but I'm asking the black community to let us start building churches and let us start building pastors in our community. And the reason I say pastors is because, as Dr. King said, the pastors are the ones that God left this work to be the cornerstone and the Ark of the Covenant of this dispensation I'm sorry.
We are not going to be lied to anymore. We're not going to be taken advantage of anymore. Then we're going to make our voices heard. Then we're going to take our case to the Justice Department. And then we are going to stand up for these young people who have been slaughtered just because of the color of their skin. Is somebody fed up? Are you really fed up? Take this message with you, that the power really doesn't rest with Washington, D.C. The power rests with us, which is why we have to vote. We are the employers of the politicians in Washington, D.C. So we need to vote and make our voices heard that way, but we need to keep on doing this so that there won't be another Kendrick. I was thinking this morning, and I'm done. There was Emmett Till, and then there's Trayvon Martin. There's so many in between, and now there's Kendrick Johnson. How about enough is enough? Is enough enough? Enough is enough. In the name of the God who woke us all up this morning, we declare that enough is enough.
Now, she is an elder. Now, what's the difference between her and the elders that lives here in Valdosta? Why is it that they can't speak like this on the stage, on the platform, take out a membership in some civil rights organization and become electrified? Don't just stay in the pulpit, don't just stay in the mosque, don't just stay in the synagogue, don't just stay in the temples while your community is going to hell. 14-year-old children are being mistreated according to some mothers. And I myself, I'm on the 120-some day criminal trespass, and I violated no law. Y'all, we had better wake up. Now, let's get back on subject. This is what someone did not want you to know. And because of the living God spirit that lives within me, I wanted you to know. And so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Now, they call me a lot of dirty names. But I want you to know, is this right to withhold this powerful information that took place at a public meeting? It was not held deep in the woods or in some private club. It was for everybody. So why should not the local free press, the local free television stations, the local free radio stations, why did they fail to report this to the general public?
We want justice. What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Justice. Thank you, Reverend Dr. Smith and Ms. Ruby Sells for that encouragement.
Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press, doing what we do because it must be done. Once again, I'm George Boston Ryan. Bye-bye, we're gone. This is what they don't want you to know. And this is why I do what I do, because I want you to know. Bye-bye, we're gone.